What kind of lighting is this? Okay, how am I gonna film this video? I put you behind my tank. I don't know what the view is looking like, if you can see my fish. So I currently have them in a 20-gallon, which is the recommended minimum size for a tank, because goldfish grow pretty big, if you didn't know, and they could live for up to 30 years if taken care correctly. I'm not too sure of the lifespan of ranchu or fancy goldfish. I know that comet goldfish is 30 years though. So I just found out the goldfish that lived the longest is Tish the Goldfish, who lived for 43 years. So this is a picture of Tish and her owner. I don't like the look of that tank. I don't know how that goldfish lived for 43 years, but kudos to the owner. That's so impressive. What the hell? The most important thing for your fishies is the water quality. So if you're new to fish keeping and you want a goldfish, you will have to learn about the nitrate cycle. So when you first set up an aquarium, you need the filters to cycle the tank. And a lot of people don't know what that means. I knew briefly about it before when I was new to fish keeping, but I didn't do enough research, and I unfortunately killed off a goldfish. Well, she got very sick because I didn't educate myself on the nitrate cycle. So the tank needs at least 4 weeks for the filters to cycle. There will be an ammonia spike, so you shouldn't have any fish while the tank is cycling. There's a spike in ammonia, and then the beneficial bacteria that you add into your tank needs to be cycled, and it will turn into nitrate.
So during the tank cycling, you will be adding the beneficial bacteria, which could be food too. That will be converted into ammonia, which will lead to an ammonia spike. The ammonia gets turned into nitrites, which then get converted into nitrates. And to get rid of the nitrates, you do a water change. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I made sure my tank was fully cycled before I got these 2 baby ranchus. Okay, first tank size, number 2 nitrate cycle, number 3 is filtration, which goes hand in hand with the nitrate cycle. You need filters and you need aeration. So what I have here, well, you can kind of see them. I have 3 breeder sponge filters, and these are the best because they provide aeration and they're great for filtering. If you have a look, you can see a bunch of beneficial bacteria growing on them, which is actually very good for keeping the cycle balanced. Another thing that is good for your tank and your fishies is plants. Here I have an Anubias plant and a Amazon sword. So at first I had problems growing plants in the tank, but I didn't know that you need a specific kind of soil, Amazon soil, and root tablets for it to grow. So they're doing really well right now. Happy about that. And another plant that I actually just added today, I attached some pothos hydroponic system over here. So these are really good for, you know, sucking out those nitrates, keeping the water nice and clean. Water quality, tank size, filtration, and live plants. It's not, you don't need plants, but they provide a lot of enrichment. Like, I have these in little fish bowls to grow, and they love swimming in and eating the algae off them, and it's really cute to see them go in the bowls. So yeah, I recommend, this is the easiest way, honestly. I like to keep the bottom of my tank clear, so it's easy to siphon the tank and clean out everything. Which leads me to the next very important thing, which is water changes. So I like to do at least 2 to 3 water changes a week. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3, depending on what I have time for. But I always make sure my water quality is good. So I have some test strips here, and I also have a ammonia alert thing attached to my tank. It tells me if I have ammonia in the tank. So that's at 0. Let's do a little test right now, actually. I always test my water. Make sure all the parameters are good and everything looks good. No nitrite. Very, very little nitrate, which is okay, but make sure you do lots of water changes. Moving on to food. Food is important, but honestly, in my opinion, the tank and water quality is the most important thing. I keep saying that because if it's not up to par, your goldfish will get sick very easily. Goldfish are very fickle, especially fancy goldfish. Goldfish food here. This is what the fish store owner gave me. This is what they were on before because it's small enough for them to digest. I like to make sure there's a lot of protein in the food I'm feeding so they grow up to be nice and chunky. So this one is protein of 47%. So I usually just do 1 scoop in the morning, enough for both of them. You definitely don't want to overfeed because not only is that bad for your fish, but it's bad for the water quality. And then I also have these fancy goldfish. Sinking, it's really important to get sinking pellets because they could develop swim bladder if they swallow air. Another thing that I swear by is bloodworms. This is really good for getting in their protein. So I'm actually going to feed them right now. You can watch. So I just have these little tongs and I grab some bloodworms and I put them. This is Mason, by the way. The black one is Mason and the orange one is Ellie. Don't worry, I always make sure both of them get some. Come on. It'll be winter soon, which means the water temperature is going to be going down, which means that I will be feeding them less because of the metabolism. It slows down during the winter and you don't feed them as much. But I'm really happy with their growth. They started off pretty small and now they're getting a little chunky and I'm so happy. Come here. She's at the bottom. But yeah, I just love watching them and looking at my little ecosystem. I'm really liking how it's looking right now. I love having natural light for them. It's really good for their growth and development. And I'm loving the hydroponic system I've got going. And yeah, I'm excited to eventually upgrade their tank size, but I don't need to right now. The water quality is fine and they're thriving. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching me talk about goldfish. I love them. I love my tank. I love fish. Bye.